Welcome. Reggie James Pace here, your favorite corporate leadership coach and creator of How to Grind Your Gift into Greatness. This is the bonus course, How to Grace Your Heart into Greatness. See, I believe that sanity and integrity are greater assets than time and money. Sanity and integrity are greater assets than time and money. And the trifecta of putting this course together, I wanted it to be the ultimate personal development course. Something that you could take to say, you know what, there's a lot of things to master in the world. But if I mastered these three concepts, man, I could really achieve some greatness, some personal organic greatness that would be beneficial to me, that would be beneficial to my family, and that would be beneficial to my community where I serve, right? That's what this course is all about. You know, you don't want to lose your integrity in the getting of the goal, right? So you could use Judas as an example, right? Everybody knows the story of Judas in the Bible, where he got the money, but he became a betrayer in order to do so. Was it worth it? No, you don't want to be that. You don't want to become a betrayer. You don't want to become a person who compromises their integrity. You don't want to become a person who compromises their core value in order to get the goal. You don't want to do that. And trust me, you're going to be asked along the way to compromise. That's what life will do to you. That's what people will do to you. That's what situations and circumstances will do to you. They will ask you to compromise along the way, okay? And you don't want to compromise along the way. You want to become somebody who's not only a high achiever, who's not only having a high impact in the world, but is somebody that has integrity and a centeredness and sanity about themselves, right? You don't want to be a lunatic, a successful lunatic. And I'm sure you could name a few of those, right? Right? But in the perfect personal development, ultimate personal development course, you would be able to grind your gift into greatness, grit your mind into greatness, and have mental toughness and grace your heart into greatness. So just like the other courses, I want you to take this one first, the first way through with no notes. Okay, I want you to try to just take it through to take in the concepts. I want you to enjoy yourself. Enjoy it almost like a movie, if you will. Get some popcorn and enjoy yourself. Okay, then I want you to come back and take it for the second time with notes and internalize everything, organize everything, customize everything to fit your life, to fit your goals, to fit your situation, to fit your craft and what you're working on, okay? And then I want you to understand that grace is the home of greatness. If skill is repetition is the mother of skill, and grind is the father of greatness, and grace, listen to me, grace is the home of greatness. Greatness rests inside of grace, okay? Grace is the home of greatness. That's very important. So let's get started and give you the system of grace. This is a system that you can use when you're feeling a little out of centeredness, when you're feeling a little off balance, when you're feeling a little unfulfilled. This is a great system. This acronym is a great system that you can use to help you regain perspective, okay? So the G in grace is understanding the God factor. What do I mean by that? That most people ask, why did this happen to me? But a better question is, why did this happen for me? The God factor is understanding that you're not in control of everything. Some things are out of your control. In fact, most things are out of your control. You're putting too much pressure on yourself to try to be in control of everything. And you're blaming yourself when things don't go right and things don't go well. You got to understand there's a God factor here. And life is going to deal you some stuff, some blows. And you're going to ask sometimes, why did this happen to me? Things happen in life, right? We have accidents, we have tragedies, we have mistakes. And you can ask yourself, why did this happen to me? But a better question is asking, why did this happen for me? It's for me. Why did this happen for me, for my benefit? What's the optimistic outcome that I can foresee from this? How can I control that perspective, right? So I got familiar with this when I was growing up, and in high school. I had several knee injuries, right? I injured my left knee, I had to have surgery on it. I injured my right knee, had to have surgery on it. I was determined to come back my senior year and have a great season with no injuries. So I trained and I trained and I trained. I did all the stuff that I didn't do before. I did my leg exercises, I did my leg extensions, I did my hamstring curls, I did my squats, I did all this kind of stuff that I just hadn't done before to strengthen my legs and to be in the best health and wellness that I could possibly be. Come out, second game of the season. Right? After I've done and worked so hard, I get knocked down on a kick return play. I get up and I chase the guy down. It was a phenomenal play. So I've heard anyway. They said it was a phenomenal play. I got knocked down. The guy went running by. I got up and chased the guy down. I catch up to him on the 5-yard line. I throw my body on top of his and wrap myself around him. We swing around. We hit the ground, and I break my wrist. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I had done everything that I was supposed to do. I had prepared my body to play well. I was mentally tough to play well. I was determined to make this the best year of my football career. I did what I was supposed to do. And I sat in that hospital that night, and my dad came into the hospital, and he just kind of had a smile on his face because he probably knew the same thing I knew. You know what? There's something else in play here. There's the God factor. Because this was out of my control, okay? I did everything I could do, and I felt a peace that night, sitting in that hospital room, as they reset my wrist. I felt a peace, because I knew that I had done everything in my power to do, and there was something else in control here, okay? That was something that didn't happen to me. That was something that happened for me, okay? That happened for me. And that perspective helped me have peace. It helped me have centeredness and sanity after 2 knee surgeries, a broken ankle, and all of that, to come back and break your wrist your senior year. So that was a level of sanity and centeredness for me, right? So you got to trust, right? You have to trust. Trust is better than disgust, right? Trust is a better perspective than disgust. Because I could have been disgusted at that situation and just wanted to throw something. But I have to trust. You know what? I just got to trust that this is working together for my good. That's a better perspective. That's a more productive perspective. Because if you're just disgusted and, you're just done with life and everything and, oh, woe is me, that's not a very productive state to be in. You're not productive. But if you operate from a perspective of trust, you can be more productive, which is what? More helpful to you, it's more helpful to your family, and it's more helpful to your community and company and those you impact, right? So trust is a better perspective than disgust. Also, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they're on their road to greatness and they're trying to be centered and they're feeling a little out of balance is they forget to forgive. They forget to forgive. Forgive who, man? Forgive everybody, okay? And that's easier said than done. I get that. Some stuff's been done to you. I get it. But people forget that forgiveness is actually for the one that's forgiving. It benefits the one that's forgiving tremendously, right? Forgiveness. If you forgive the other person, what that does is it frees you up. Somebody said that forgiveness releases a prisoner, and the prisoner was yourself. It releases you from that burden. Forgive them. Forgive them. Right? You don't have to be best friends with them. You don't have to be pen pals and Facebook friends with them, but you can forgive them. You got to let that wound heal, because an open wound is sensitive. Anytime somebody gets close to it, it causes a problem. You haven't healed. You're walking around with open wounds, and being in an open wound state is less productive than being in with where you have a scar, it's healed over, and it doesn't hurt to touch it anymore. But if it's an open wound, if anybody even comes close to it, you say, hey, you back away from me. Don't you touch my open wound. And it's an unproductive state to be in. You want centeredness and sanity and integrity. In order to do that, you have to forgive. Also, remembering to forgive yourself. Look, you're going to make mistakes. You messed up. Forgive yourself. That's human. You messed up, right? You messed up several times. Okay, great. You're human. Guess what? All the other humans walking around here, guess what? They messed up too. We all mess up. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That's a better state to be in than to be frustrated. Forgiveness is better than frustration. You can be frustrated with yourself for a little while, but eventually you got to forgive yourself. You'll do better in your organization, in your community, in your family, if you're operating out of forgiveness versus frustration. Period. You will do better. You will have a greater impact. You will be more productive if you're operating from a perspective of forgiveness versus frustration with other people and yourself. Forgive people. Okay, they broke your computer. All right, forgive them. Get back up and get back in the game. I messed up. I did this totally wrong. Oh, I embarrassed myself. Great. Forgive yourself. Get back up, get back in the game. All right? Forgive yourself. So next steps for you. Appreciation is better than frustration. Just remembering that. Appreciation is better than frustration. Just appreciate the fact that this happened for me, not to me. A perspective of appreciation. Remember this. Trust is better than disgust. It puts you in a better state of being productive. And then remember this, grace is the home of greatness. Why are we going through this course? Because grace is the home of greatness. Greatness lives inside of grace, inside of being a person of perspective and centeredness and integrity. That's why we're doing this, all right? So the G in grace is understanding the God factor. The R in grace is understanding restoration. Any heart that's been destroyed can certainly be restored. You say, wow, man, we're getting pretty deep here. Well, we need to, all right? Because this is personal development. This is important. This is important. Any heart that's been destroyed can certainly be restored. Some stuff has happened to us in our lives where, I went through some stuff in my life where I said, I will never take the wall off my heart again. I built a fortress around my heart. I said, never again. I'm not opening myself to be hurt like that ever again. No, I'm done. I'm done. Me, myself, and I can do bad all by myself. I built a fortress around this thing. And then guess what? I had restoration. The walls came tumbling down. Huh? When I met my wife, the walls came tumbling down, man, because any heart that's been destroyed can certainly be restored. It can be restored. And trust me, I wasn't looking for restoration. I was looking for protection, covering this thing up. But I found out something. I found out that if it's been destroyed, it can be restored. That's important to know. That's important to have that perspective for those of us who think I'm down and out and I'm never going to be happy again. My life is over. No. Your life is not over. If it's been destroyed, it can be restored. Notice I didn't say replaced. Notice I didn't say duplicated, but you can have restoration of joy in your heart. You can have restoration of fulfillment in your heart. You can have restoration in your heart. Okay? In your heart, you can have restoration. Oh, well, I lost a loved one and you'll never get them particularly back again. But you can still have a restoration of joy, though, in your heart. Your life's not over. Understand that. That's the point of this, is understanding your life's not over. If your heart's been broken, it can be restored. You need to know that so that you don't throw in the towel. So you can have a centeredness, sanity, and maintain your integrity. Because a person that believes that life is over, they can do some stuff that's outside of integrity and not care. Why? Because life's over. Not a good perspective of being productive. All right? You got to be in a perspective to understand that there can be restoration. Relationships can be restored. Money can be restored. Ideas can be restored. Businesses can be restored. Most importantly, I'll say it again, relationships can be restored. Huh? All right? So, this is the thing. You'd be amazed at how much a heartfelt apology can restore a broken relationship. You'd be amazed at how much a heartfelt apology can restore a broken relationship. Well, man, why are you talking about this stuff in a course for personal development and business growth and such? Hey, listen, you can offend people and not even realize you offended them. And some of us have offended people and we do realize we offended them. And because we're upset, we don't care, right? Go back and apologize. Say, hey, you know what? I realize that I messed up. I did something wrong to you, okay? And I want to apologize for that. It may have hurt you. It may have, knocked you, or distracted you from a goal. It could have knocked you off balance. And I apologize for that. I'm sorry. A heartfelt apology could tear down so many walls and restore your relationships. And relationships in this world are important. I don't know about on the other planets, but relationships in this world that we live in, they're important. And you want to restore the relationships if possible, right? You want to live peaceably amongst men and women if possible. And my pastor would always say the if possible part isn't on you. You do your part, and the if possible part is on them. You apologize, and you be kind, and you operate from a perspective of forgiveness and restoration. All right? So find somebody you can apologize to, even if they owe you one, or two, or three. Find somebody you can apologize to and forgive them. All right? So, you can probably think of countless stories about, children and their parents, right? You have parents that maybe weren't there for the child, and the child has some animosity towards them about that. And then, lo and behold, one day one of the parents comes and apologizes for it. And instantly, the walls that were built around their heart come tumbling down, and the relationship is restored. Maybe not instantly, but I've seen it. In the cases that I've seen, it was almost instantly. The walls came tumbling down, and the relationship was restored. And then you have another parent who just for some reason refuses to apologize, refuses to see there was anything wrong. And what happens? There continues to be distance in the relationship for no other reason than a heartfelt apology. Find somebody you can apologize to, even if they owe you one, or two, or three. Give them yours first. It's better to give than to receive. Put it out there. All right? So it's literally like seeing chains fall off. When you get restoration, it's like seeing chains fall off of a prisoner. That's what it's like, man. It's like seeing chains fall off of your heart. Restoration. That's what it's like. And you can get there from an apology sometimes. Can help other people get there. And an apology sometimes to yourself. I've seen people go through exercises where they look in the mirror and apologize to themselves. Sometimes I think about going to myself as a little kid and apologizing to him for giving up on some of the dreams when I did. I had given up on some of those dreams. When I was a little kid, I wanted to build hotels. My grandfather asked me what I want to be when I grow up. I didn't say an astronaut. I didn't say anything other than I want to build hotels, Grandpa. I was a little kid. I'm going to be more than 6 years old. I want to build hotels. Well, I want to go back and apologize to that little kid. Apologize to myself. For a time, I had given up on that. See, sometimes you got to apologize to yourself, and that's okay too. Do whatever it takes. Why? Because grace is where greatness lives. If you want to achieve your greatness, you got to do what's necessary. Forgiveness is a huge part of that, man. Grudges and grace can't live in the same place. Let that sink in for a second. I'm going to sip some tea on that. Grudges and grace can't live in the same place. Grudges and grace can't live in the same place. And what lives in grace? Greatness. Grudges and greatness can't live in the same place. Grudges and greatness can't live in the same place. So you got to get rid of these grudges. You got to find a way to forgive, change your perspective so that you can get to your greatness. All right? So next steps for you. Understanding that forgiving yourself for all of your mistakes is important. All of them. Forgive yourself for all of them. It happened. Can't change it. You can learn from it. Learn from your mistakes. Forgive yourself. Understanding, too, that grudges and grace don't live in the same place. If you're holding a grudge, you're holding yourself back. Forgiveness frees a prisoner, and you find out that that prisoner was yourself. Grudges and grace can't live in the same place. And understanding that grace is the home of greatness. Grace is the home of greatness. All right. So the A in grace is atmosphere. Atmosphere, your atmosphere, your atmosphere. You got to own your atmosphere. You own it. You own your atmosphere. You control what comes in and what goes out of your atmosphere. Protect your atmosphere the same way you would your home. Protect your atmosphere the same way you would your home. If poison entered into your home, you would do two things. One of two things. You would either get the poison out or you would get out. You have to protect your atmosphere the same way. Right? Because it's important for your sanity and for your integrity. You have to protect your atmosphere. It's important for your sanity and it's important for your integrity. You have to protect your atmosphere the same way you would your home. If something poisonous entered your home, you would get it out of there as fast as possible because it's poisonous and it's in your home, man. Your atmosphere is your home. You live in your atmosphere. Own your atmosphere. And you have to own what comes into your atmosphere and you have to own what you put into your atmosphere, right? So think about this. What are the messages that you're allowing to enter into your atmosphere? When you allow gossip into your atmosphere, is that poison? Or is that a precious ointment? Or is that a precious jewel? That's poison. Gossip is poison. What are you letting into your atmosphere from what you're watching? Are you letting marvelous things enter into your atmosphere that you can learn from? Or are you letting things enter into your atmosphere that are tearing you down? Own your atmosphere. Own your atmosphere. Are you speaking things into your atmosphere that are poison? You might say, oh, no, absolutely not. I guard my tongue. No. How many times do you say throughout the day, oh, this is just ridiculous. Oh, I'm so this. Oh, I'm so that. Oh, I'm going to be late. Oh, I'm going to be that. And you speak negativity into your atmosphere. We do it all the time. I see it from the top all the way down to the youngest. We do it all the time. We poison our atmosphere. That's your atmosphere. Don't spew poison into your atmosphere. Life and death is in the power of your tongue, right? People are voted to be president of the United States for what? From what comes out of their mouth, right? From just speeches, right? Don't poison your atmosphere. Your words are important. Your words are important. So don't let poison into your atmosphere and don't spew poison into your atmosphere. I don't understand, man. For me, I like palm trees, right? But palm trees don't grow in Ohio. Why? Because of the atmosphere, the climate. They don't grow here, okay? And so if you want, beautiful palm trees to flourish in your life, you have to control the atmosphere. Certain things cannot grow in certain climates and different atmospheres, okay? You cannot want something beautiful to grow in a poisonous atmosphere. You want to create a beautiful life. You want to create greatness. You want to grind your gift into greatness and achieve your organic greatness. Then guess what? You want to turn your seed of your gift into greatness. You got to own your atmosphere. You got to keep your atmosphere clean from poison. Palm trees don't grow in Ohio. It's atmospheric, man. It just can't happen. So, a couple of mistakes that I see people make. They think I'm strong enough to grow in a poisonous atmosphere. People just think that. They think I can just poison my atmosphere with what I listen to, what I watch, what I engage in conversation-wise, what I post, who I follow, and you can just have poison spewing all in your atmosphere. And people think this is a mistake they make. They think, oh, I'm strong enough to make it in spite of that. I don't care how strong the palm tree think it is. It's not growing in Ohio unless they figure something out that I don't know about. It's not growing. I don't care how strong you think it is. It's just not. It can't grow here. Same thing with your greatness. Your greatness can't grow in a poisonous atmosphere. Your greatness grows in a grace-filled atmosphere. You got to own your atmosphere. So, next steps. Protect what enters your atmosphere. Okay? Think about that. I own my atmosphere. I own it. If something's in my atmosphere I don't like, protect it like your house. Either you get it out or you get out. Own your atmosphere. 2, protect what you put into the atmosphere, right? Don't spew poison into your own atmosphere. It's going to hurt you more than anybody else, okay? And 3, grace is the home of greatness. Grace is the home of greatness. If you want to achieve your own organic greatness, you got to own your atmosphere. You got to own your atmosphere. So I get so excited about that, man. Like it's just the truth. It's just the truth. The C in grace is for consider. Consider. Every ripple creates a wave. Let me say that again. Consider. Every ripple creates a wave. As sure as what goes up must come down, what goes out must come back in. Every ripple creates a wave. I learned this when my daughter was little. We went to a hotel and we went swimming. I took her swimming. We get into the hotel pool, and I'm standing kind of close to the wall, right? She's in my arms, I'm standing kind of close to the wall. Well, her arm is hanging off, kind of off the back of me here. And she noticed when she, put her arm down in the water, it made a little ripple, right? A little ripple. And the ripple went up against the wall and came back, real nice and gentle and beautiful. And she did it again. She put her little arm in the water, bloop, and it made a little ripple, hit the wall, and it came back. Well, as most kids do, they pushed the limits, got excited, and she went blam and slammed her hand down into the water. And it made a big old ripple, right? And the ripple hit the wall, and it came back and made a huge wave back and splashed her in the face, right? And she got, kind of startled, like, oh my goodness. And she didn't realize that for every ripple that you put into the water, it brings a wave back. As sure as what goes up must come down, whatever you put out into the world is coming back to you in a boomerang effect, right? So you have to consider the ripple effect of your actions. Consider them. Just consider them. This will help you be a tad bit more compassionate. Just consider. I'm putting this ripple out into the world, and it's bringing a wave back. For every ripple, there's a wave. There's a ripple effect to what you're doing and how you treat people. There's a ripple effect. Are you treating people kind? Wham! You're putting kindness on a ripple effect, and it's going to ripple back to you in a wave of kindness. That makes sense? You treating people with gossip. Wham! You wham gossip out there, and the ripple effect goes out, and it comes back in a wave of gossip towards you. Consider the ripple. Consider the ripple effect. For every ripple, there's a wave. So it's the same as like seed time and sowing time, right? You plant a seed and it comes back to you in greater folds, right? That's what we're doing here. We're grinding our gift into greatness. We're trying to turn that seed into something greater, right? And so that it can be a greater wave of effect. But you got to understand, that's real. You cannot plant a peach seed and get apples. It's not the world we live in. That does not work here. I don't know how it works on Mars or anywhere else. But I know here, if you plant a peach seed, you're going to get peaches, right? If you wham, you put gossip out there, you're getting gossip back. You can't wham, put gossip out there and get praise back. That's not how the world we live in is set up. You got to respect the ripple effect. You have to respect the ripple effect. Just consider it. Just consider, before you take action, before you go to set that person straight, before you go to correct that person in a mean way, before you go to be less compassionate, before you go to drive by them and not help out, before you go to fight fire with fire, just consider the ripple effect. For every ripple, there's a wave. So for your next steps, just do this. Consider it. Just ask yourself, what would I want if I were them? What would I want to happen in this situation? Just consider it. Just consider it. I know you're not going to get it right 100% of the time, but just consider it. What would I want if I were them? If you got to go and correct somebody, what would I want, though? How would I want them to do it? Would I want them to do it publicly and embarrass me in front of everybody, my coworkers, my friends, my family? Or would I want them to pull me to the side and do it in private? But just consider it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Consider the ripple effect. Then consider the wave. What do I want to come back? And would I want that in droves? What I'm putting out, would I want that to come back in droves? Not just ripple for ripple, but ripple for wave. Would I want that to wave back into my face? That's what you have to consider. So, do you do things discreetly and protect that person's integrity? That's your ripple, and it's coming back to you in waves. Or do you embarrass that person publicly? You're putting that ripple out there. Would you want that back in waves? Just consider it. And understand that grace is the home of greatness. All right? I think that's important stuff and it's powerful stuff. And the E in grace is to expect. Greatness is not only possible, but it's expected. That's what leadership is. Greatness is not only possible, it's expected, right? Why would you be in a leadership position, in a leadership role, and you don't expect greatness? Greatness is possible, but it can't just be possible. It's got to be expected. You got to expect the greatness out of your people. You got to expect the greatness out of your organization. You got to expect greatness out of yourself. You got to expect the greatest outcome, regardless of whatever it is that you're doing. Expect greatness. It's not only possible, but it needs to be expected. What are we doing all this for? For greatness. Why would we call this the ultimate personal development course? Because we expect greatness. We want you to take this course and achieve organic greatness. Not just to get a little bit better or a smidge better or to get a few golden nuggets. No, we want you to take this material and go and achieve greatness. I'm expecting to hear feedback that you have achieved your own organic greatness. That you started here and developed to your full potential, and it's a blessing to you, your family, and your community. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting greatness. Expect the best outcome. Why not? Why not expect the best outcome? What's it going to hurt you to expect the best outcome? If it doesn't happen, so what? Are you going to walk around with just low expectations all the time? No, your expectations matter. You get what you expect. Muhammad Ali expected to win. Muhammad Ali expected to win. Why do you think he said that? I'll show you how great I am. Because I expect to win. And he would go out there and tell his opponent to their face, you're not going to win. I'm expecting to win. And when somebody puts that much energy and certainty into their expectation, you start believing it. His opponents were oftentimes defeated before they even entered the ring, because he had expressed his expectation to win so greatly and so certainly that they start believing him. It's like the old Jedi mind trick. I went over here. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Well, maybe I didn't. Right? Used to happen all the time in the cartoons, right? Old Jedi mind trick. You think about expecting. My founding pastor used to say back in the day that you can tell a guy who expected to lose because they would put advertisement on the bottom of their feet because they were expecting to get knocked out in the ring. Think about that. You put advertisements on the bottom of your feet. You know, imagine that. You got, a store name on the bottom of your feet so that when you get knocked out, you can get paid for it. That's expecting to lose, right? You want to expect the best outcome. Expect to win. Expect greatness because greatness is inside of you. You have a seed of greatness inside of you. Now it's just time to cultivate it. That's all it is. It's just time to cultivate it into greatness. Expect the greatest outcome. To not do that is the most ridiculous mistake that I see, because it's lazy thinking. It's lazy thinking. It's easy to think, oh, I don't know. Woe is me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Oh, I don't know. And to talk it down. That's a lazy thinker, okay? That's easy to do. Anybody can go and expect mediocrity. That's easy to do. But a person that's a lazy thinker wouldn't take a course like this. This course isn't for the lazy thinker. And if you are a lazy thinker, this is supposed to ignite you into changing that. To say, you know what, man, there's some areas of my life where I've been a lazy thinker. And I need to start expecting the greatest outcome. I need to expect the greatest outcome out of my teenager. I need to expect greatness out of my teenager. I need to expect greatness out of my child. I need to expect greatness out of this job opportunity, even if I'm not supposed to be there until retirement. But I need to expect greatness out of the time that I'm there. I need to expect greatness out of my workout regimen. I need to expect greatness out of myself. I need to expect greatness out of this next song we're creating. Expect greatness. Why not? At some point, you got to just stop being comfortable with mediocrity and average because it's boring. Expect greatness. Why do we watch the Olympics? Because we want to see greatness. I watched the Olympics one time. The team came and they were diving. They were doing like the synchronized diving. These guys were all over the place. Their legs were flying all over the place. They almost hit each other in midair. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see mediocrity. Nobody wants to tune in and see average. I want to tune in and see greatness. Greatness is exciting. Greatness is attractive. Greatness attracts wealth. I want to see greatness. Expect greatness. Don't be a lazy thinker. So next steps for you, expect an excellent outcome. Expect it. I expect the best. I expect to win. I'll show you how great I am is what Ali said. Why? Not just to be arrogant, but to let them know I'm expecting to win. Even if the world is not expecting me to win, I expect me to win. And it worked out tremendously for him. Now, you don't have to go and tell everybody, I'm expecting to win the gold. Okay, well, let's relax. But you got to believe that in yourself. I'm expecting a great outcome. 2, expect to see excellence in others, particularly others that are under your influence. Expect to see excellence in your children and greatness. Expect to see excellence in your spouse and greatness. Expect to see excellence in your business partners and greatness. Expect to see it. Expect to see excellency in your coworkers. And if you don't, help them achieve it. That's what leadership is. Pull them greatness out of them, man. Help them. Be a helpful hand, right? So expect to see excellence in others. And last but not least, remembering that grace is the home of greatness. Grace is the home of greatness. You have to remember that. So that's a quick recap. This is important for your sanity and for your integrity. The G in grace, understanding the God factor. The R, understanding that it can be restored. You can have restoration. Even if you've been hurt, destroyed, broken down, it can be restored. A is owning your atmosphere. Very important. Control what grows in your atmosphere because it surrounds you all the time. All right? The C is for consider. Just consider the ripple effect of your actions. And the E is to expect. Expect what? Expect greatness. I'm so glad you got to take this course today. I'm so excited not only to hear your feedback, but to hear your progress, to hear your process, to hear how you've gone through and implemented some of these strategies. And when you do that, if you post about it, just tag us in it, or you can email me, or just tag us using the hashtag #GrindYourGift, and we'll be able to see it and go through and support you because we are a community. We want to help you. We want to support you. We want to be there for you. We want to watch your journey, and we want to celebrate with you when you've achieved your organic greatness. So how to grind your gift into greatness, how to grit your mind into greatness, now how to grace your heart into greatness. We so appreciate you taking this course, the ultimate personal development course. We look forward to hearing from you in the future. Please contact me for your concept consultation where we can put together your strategy. Go back through, take the course again, take your notes, internalize it. Think about each and every situation, each and every word that we talked about here, and how you can use that to help you get closer to your own organic greatness. Thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. See you in a future course, and be great.